Hi.
Hello, I'm very happy to introduce you Lorenz from Oberbalm near to Bern, also known as DJ WindKind, SilfVerberg or DJ LorIS. He's also party promoter and because he's traveling a lot, he's our UDG Ambassador. Lorenz, welcome. We are really happy to have you here, because how I say normally you are abroad. I would like to know, how do you came to Goa music, and how do you had the idea to live in the way you live on the road?
Well, thank you for having me, first of all. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to represent this amazing brand. First, I came into contact with psychedelic trance, it was like 96, I think, and it was by accident in a shop where I was listening to some music that I liked at the moment, and the music was playing in the shop, in the ambient music, and it was the first Crembo compilation, 1995 released, I think, and I got hooked. I bought it and listened day in, day out, and I wanted to experience psychedelic mushrooms. So I knew a friend who was going to these kind of events, and I knew that these kind of things are available there. So he told me, yeah, come with me, and we went to the party, and I heard the music, and it was like coming together. And I had an amazing experience. Fell in love instantly with this atmosphere and this tribe feeling, this family feeling. And from there on, I started to buy music, and then I moved into a house with different people, and we went together to parties, and it started pretty quickly from there. I think 3 years later, we organized our small first gathering, and it was an amazing journey. I stopped doing or promoting events because it's just a money rave. Literally every time I organized something, it was either to zero or a lot of loss, because it's not a scene where there's a lot of money. So it's also not about the money, it's about the feeling and the coming together and celebrating life and music and love and everything together. So many times it's hard to break even. And it's just the amount of time and energy you put into a proper event is there's balance was not there anymore. So I decided to stop, and I was always, when I went somewhere, I always tried to play music when I saw an opportunity, a club or whatever. And we went to Dahab, I think it was 5 years ago, for diving. And when we arrived, it was the last day of a psychedelic trance festival. We didn't know that. And me and my ex-girlfriend, we could play at the after party. So the next year I went there to play, and the year after as well, and I missed the flight. I met a girl and decided to stay. The girl went away, but I started to build a house in Dahab. It's in between Sharm el-Sheikh and Israel. It's amazingly beautiful. It retained this village charm, not like Sharm el-Sheikh, which is just all plastic. It's all made for tourists. So I live there with my Bedouin landlord, and very simple, very easy life, very cheap, and it's beautiful.
Good. So you live in Egypt, and as well you are traveling a lot now, perhaps a little bit fewer with the Corona time, or what do you say about traveling with Corona?
It's mostly a thing in your head, that people think, okay, in this time of crisis, travel is the least savvy thing to do, but it's actually very easy basically you need a test, as a PCR test. Some countries accept antigen tests, but mostly it's just a PCR test, which is, of course, not always that cheap. It depends where you are in which country. In Switzerland, it's very expensive. It's about 150 euros. But the moment you have this test, you can basically go wherever you want. Sometimes you need to go to quarantine. Sometimes you need some sort of health declaration or, intent, or that they can track you, whatever. But at the end, there's lots less people, which is very, very nice. The prices are good. So if you want to travel, just do it. It's just really something that, it's in our minds, and also it's a good idea to stay at home and take care of yourself and your surroundings and your loved ones. But if you want to travel, just do it. It's absolutely feasible.
Oh, good. So can feel free.
Yeah.
You travel a lot in Asia as well, Thailand or Vietnam, or do you think to go back next, or?
Yeah, I've been last year in February when this whole shit started. I've been in Thailand and I decided to stay because I wasn't on Koh Phangan. It was absolutely the right decision because after 2 months everything went back to normal basically. And now you can go back to Thailand. You have to go to quarantine for like 10 days, I think. But life is getting back to normal slowly. A lot of friends are still there, so parties are starting again. I love Thailand. It's like almost like a second home, because, or third home if you want to put it like that, because I've been there so many times, and in the north and the south and everywhere. I discovered Vietnam last year, which is one of the most beautiful countries in the world because of the mountains. It feels like another planet. It's these I don't know how to call them, but they look like giant fingers coming out of the ground. Just amazing. And the people are so friendly and so open, and you can actually read the language. Even if you don't understand it, you can read it, which is not possible basically in Thailand. Malaysia is also amazing. Really not what I expected. Very modern, very clean, very sophisticated, very open to foreign cultures, because they're used to deal with Chinese, well, first the English, then the Chinese and the Indian. So they're used to welcome and being interested in other cultures, which Thailand isn't, because they always were top of the line in this region. They were never conquered, so they have this born almost nationalistic proudness of being Thai. So Thais are the best, and everybody else is like less good, kinda. It's not. It can be racist, but it's just like this. Like, I'm proud to be American, right? But it didn't choose to be American, so they're very proud to be Thai, and they're not that open to new things because they're the best, basically. So, and of course also because they got flooded by tourists for like the last 3 decades or something. It's when you have too many people coming through, you become numb, and you're not smiling because you smile, you just smile because it's the land of the smile. So
Well, it's like keeping the identity as well, to be proud. No?
Yeah. But yeah, we'll definitely go back to Asia. Maybe I think in autumn, something like that.
Okay. You told me you would like to become a video blogger, a vlogger. So I'm really looking forward to know more about it, because I think you're living an interesting life. Perhaps you can tell us a little bit what you wish to share there.
Yeah, these last months, it was like for many people a time of reconciliation, of everything came to a halt. And so early January, slowly I realized that I would like to share and present and maybe also teach things through YouTube, because I discovered basically YouTube last year, which sounds ridiculous, but for me YouTube was always like a suppository, a platform if you need something, you go to YouTube, look for it, that's it. But I was never like browsing on YouTube or staying just because it's YouTube, and I completely shut down Facebook because it became so toxic with all that, I switched to YouTube, and I just realized that what I like to watch, so what I like to present as well, what I think I could present that is pleasant to watch, or like maybe even educational or novel, or so. Also, I have a lot of different interests, from music to building things to just talking with people, to travel, to health, to everything technology connected, to video games, to virtual reality. So I decided to create different channels, because you cannot mix games and health. You could, but it doesn't, for me, it doesn't feel right to mix those two things, because they're so far away. So I'm thinking about making one channel for do-it-yourself projects, because I'm building my house. Then health, travel, tech, which is very general, everything tech related. Then gaming, VR, one channel, and one just with talks, which sound like a lot, and I know it is a lot. That's how I rule. It's always like nothing or everything at the same time. So step by step, now I learn the basics of video production, of editing, of all that, and we'll start with something that I already will do, building the house, very easy, and going from there. And yeah, it's like, okay, this is my main goal, my main project for the next 10 years or whatever. And yeah, it's exciting and scary and unknown, and it's how I like, it's how I rule. I like it when everything can fail and you can win everything. Yeah.
In all the case, we are really happy that you will share your life or your projects. So we are looking forward, as I said, to see that. We'll share your links when it's ready, and so everybody could enjoy a bit of an escape of these difficult times. And how is it with Goa music in Egypt? Is that really known, or are there parties? How is it?
Is that you literally find it everywhere. There's even a psytrance culture scene in Iran,
Huh?
but it's really, really hidden, so it's really dangerous to go to these events or to listen to this kind of music. In Egypt is quite liberal as a country in a whole, but most prominent is techno, house, stuff like that. There's a small community, and where I live on the Sinai Peninsula, there are and have been festivals for a long, long time, especially the Israeli communities coming down to Sinai to organize the festivals. But because it's Egypt, they have two kind of licenses. One is for Israeli people and no Egyptians, or Egyptians and no Israelis.
Ah, okay.
They say it's because of security concerns, but if you want to do something bad against a certain kind of group of people, then it's way easier to do that if you have this group of people isolated. So I don't understand it. But many things in Egypt you just cannot understand. It's just because it's Egypt. So yeah.
Okay. So there is things to do. Still, sometimes a bit complicated, but there is.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Also because there on the Sinai Peninsula, it's full of mountains. So you have valleys all over the place.
Okay.
And in these valleys you can do private things and nobody will know. So this is really no problem.
Okay. Good. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Happy that you are here. We are following you, and of course we will let you know more about it in the future.
Peace.